theme six, which is our sixth theme, is communities and partnerships. And I know we talked about communities again, but excuse me. So, like, how do you integrate exclusively? And I know you talked about a little bit again about this, but practices in your partnerships to ensure the impacted community and stakeholders are a priority. So like what steps do you take to actively involve the community in decision making? So I know you said this is like a community, a lot of community is also involved, but like what are the steps to involving community in the decision, I guess? Yeah.
Sure. I mean, advisory council, like kind of what I told you. So it's not just limited to business and industry, although I talked about that earlier. We do
Right.
ask parents, alumni, the
Okay.
post-secondary partnerships, whatever aligns with that program, we want them present too. If that means it's Australia Community College, UTI is a big partner of us. ASU, we're trying to establish better partnership with U of A. We actually have a partnership with one of our programs, I think. So
Okay.
we want everybody. I mean, the business and industry is number one, but we do try to get alumni parents and the
Okay,
post-secondary.
yeah, like just having other people. Um,
Mhm.
what is like I guess like how do you create a welcoming environment for all the stakeholders and all these people? Like yeah, like how does it, because I know it's like big to stay on community, but like, yeah, how do you keep that atmosphere and environment friendly or welcoming for
Oh
people?
boy. I mean, I think getting to know my personality more, but all of us
Yeah.
here too are like in it for the students. So I think that comes out when we're talking to people.
Okay.
Um, I I don't know. I think that when
It's
I
kind
was
of, I guess I don't want to cut you off, but it's like a vibe then, right?
it's a vibe.
It's a vibe. So like people
Yeah.
know like your personalities, how you guys come off, your communication, just being friendly. So obviously like that reputation in general is just welcoming. So I'm
Mhm.
guessing that's what you're saying because I'm like okay like
Yeah, and our teachers come from like literally 95% of them are not from the classroom. They're
okay.
industry professionals, and we get them certified on like one of the options in Arizona where you can get certified for teaching based off your industry
All
experience.
right, okay.
So we have a very large curriculum department, which is where I started when I was here with the instructional
Okay.
coaches, because we're literally teaching them pedagogy. We're teaching them how to teach.
Oh, okay. Because they
Because
don't have that part. It's like
yeah,
they don't have the teaching part, but they have like these are their professions. Okay.
yeah.
Well, that's
But
kind
what
of
I'm
cool
getting
though.
at, why I'm telling you that was because I think they're very welcoming. They have tons of industry connections. They know how to talk to their industry maybe
Okay.
better than I could. Like, I can talk to an aviation mechanic, but probably not as well as, our aviation mechanic teacher can.
Okay, I
So,
see. So it's like
yeah,
nice that they have like you have people that are yeah in their industries that can
yep.
be like talk shop in other words
Yeah, talk
you
shop.
have
Yes, I'm like I can't describe to you how to color hair or do a perm, but
yeah
I
so
know
it's
somebody that
like
can.
so but so yeah so everybody's kind of like open and like welcoming and they have their industry and people are so like you guys are just kind of like social and
Yeah,
welcoming so that's yeah that's a plus so
our
then it's
campuses are also shared use campuses, which actually
okay.
opens it up. So our campus at Buckeye, the facilities APS and Palo Verde Nuclear Station actually use
Oh.
the facilities. Upstairs, Estrella Community College has
Oh,
facilities.
wow.
Yeah, so there's kind of people coming and going, and it just makes it very just community. We have like event spaces too. So we have
Okay.
community events at the event spaces.
Okay, that kind of
High
goes like I guess that kind of it's like what policies and strategies does your organization have in place to encourage employee volunteer engagement growth within the partnership? So that kind of goes with like what you said about like you have that shared space and
Oh
like
yeah.
so like there you
Yeah.
go and like how to
I didn't mean to
support.
answer that question. I hadn't even seen it
No,
ahead.
I mean, I was just saying it kind of go. I mean, they all kind of start to tie together because it's all together. But I was just reading the question. I was like, oh, that goes with this question of like, how do you guys support? Like, what are the strategies that you guys can, keep the growth of the partnership? So you kind of answered that, but I guess let me read. How do you support professional development and leadership?
Oh,
Yeah, like how do you support that the
tell you
leadership?
about that. We have a huge professional development department. And then some of us, even though we're not officially in the professional development department, we teach
Okay.
the classes. So I teach the work-based learning class about 3 to 4 times a year.
Okay.
And it's not just West MEC employees, it's any teacher in the state of Arizona can
Oh,
come to the
wow.
class.
Okay.
And then our professional development director, not only does he serve our district, but he serves all the districts that are like we're an overlay district, so he serves all the districts under there. So if there's any teachers that need any
Oh,
help getting certified, he walks them through the process to get certified.
wow. Okay.
Yeah,
So
it's kind of crazy.
yeah, wow. That's awesome though. Like,
I know. So we have a ton of professional development for others, for people here. I've run historically I love emotional intelligence, the book and the concept of emotional intelligence. I've done 2 PD series on it for staff.
oh, wow.
I've taught it. And then myself, we have tuition reimbursement. It's not a ton. It's like I think I want to say it's like 2 to 3 thousand a year, but
Okay.
I very, very slowly, it's taken me 3 years. I'm gonna finish this semester getting my admin certificate.
Oh, wow.
But West Mex paid for it the whole way. Like I've done it class by class and bit
Class,
by
yeah.
bit.
But that's
So
huge. That's going to
it
be a
is
big
huge.
help. That's really awesome.
I
But
mean, they saved me like $4,000,
I
five
mean, yeah, like
$4,000.
that's amazing, and
Yeah.
that's yeah. I mean, that's saving money in general, but it's also you get to like grow in this position also. So
Yeah.
that's pretty
I
awesome.
don't know if I want to be an admin, but at least I have a certificate to.
But it's good to have because you don't know like what opportunities could come up, and
Yep.
like it's just good to have as a backup as well. And I think like yeah, like you don't know yet, but maybe something changes. Like you said, a lot of roles changed, and a
Yeah,
lot of things you guys are growing so
I
much.
know. I
So I
want to be
think
ready for it, so.
yeah, so like at least you have that under your belt, and then like you said, you could be ready for like some other changes.
Yeah.
Um, going into let's see, so then it's what retention strategies have proven effective in maintaining long-term engagement. I mean, you kind of talked about that. It's also we can probably skip that. We can go to okay,
Okay.
let's go to theme 7. I think this is the last theme.
Yeah, so I talk a
Our
lot.
sorry, no, I'm glad you're able to do this. It's hard when a lot of people are busy, so I really appreciate you like taking
Sure.
the time to talk about this. Our 7th theme is partnership transitions and endings. So, how does your partnerships like handle personal changes and like I mean we just talked about it again, but like leadership and what strategies do you guys use to ensure continuing? So like yeah, like when I guess well you can answer that. Sorry, I was like
Gosh.
so yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that's a area for us to kind of improve. We're growing so fast. Leadership has changed a lot. Like our superintendent's been here for 4 years, but like right underneath him, assistant superintendents have changed a lot.
Okay.
Um, I don't know. It's continuity. I mean, some of us that have been here for a while just kind of keep
Well,
the
yeah, just
systems
keep the like
running.
I guess like reviewing I get expectations and like
Right,
mentorship that kind of goes into it probably.
right.
Um yeah, I
Onboarding new
mean,
stakeholders. I mean, that's literally what I do. I feel like I've explained that one a lot, right?
yeah,
It's
you
how I
already yeah, that's
hire in and
you're like
yeah,
I do
that's
that all the time.
right.
Yeah, I know some of the questions are kind of like repeated, so that's why I'm like, oh, you don't we already talked about that. I guess the next one is your partnership ongoing or time bound? Well, I guess
Oh, ongoing. I mean,
uh
they're all ongoing. So with all of those contracts they sign are good for like 5 years. I just
oh
renewed.
wow, okay.
Um,
So they could be for a while. Okay,
it could
that's
be for a
amazing.
while. I mean, I looked up Banner Health. They've been our partners since we started. I mean, our
Oh
district's
wow.
been, Twiz is our 21st year, I think. And
So
which in
ongoing, yeah.
school district time is like nothing. It's like we're a baby school district, but we've been around for 21 years. So I don't know. And then the West Valley of Phoenix, where we are, is growing like crazy, crazy, crazy. So there's new businesses popping up everywhere all the time.
Oh, okay. So that, I
So,
mean, but that's pretty exciting because then it's like a long term. I guess this is the next question is how have your partnerships evolved to address challenging needs and the new opportunities while staying true to the original mission?
Okay, I'm thinking of like a couple things that I haven't mentioned because I think I've answered this one too, but we're constantly looking at innovative things. It's like our challenges are unique that we're on these campuses that are possibly far away from job sites. Our students are already struggling with transportation and they can't transport themselves places. So one of the more unique things we've done to change to make new opportunities for our students is brought the businesses to us. Um,
Okay.
so our construction program, this was a couple of years ago. The teacher's no longer here, but the teacher saw a need to teach masonry a little bit better with the students. However, masonry companies like couldn't get all of his entire class out to a job site. Job sites change all the time, right? Because of
Okay, yeah.
construction, they're everywhere.
We're kind of
So
all over,
he
yeah.
partnered with a masonry company to come onto our campus for, I think they were there for like a month or more than a month.
Oh, wow.
Taught masonry out in their back area. There was an employee that came for half the day, taught masonry.
That's
Um,
pretty impressive.
it
Wow.
is.
That's
There's
so
a
cool.
competition in Las Vegas called the Fastest Trowel. So they went to Vegas and participated in the Fastest Trowel. And then, like, I think that company, they donated boots to all the students.
Oh, wow. Okay. Like,
Um,
that's
yeah, but then
pretty
they ended
cool.
up hiring like two or three of them, right? And they were ready to go. They were ready to hit the ground running. They knew what they were doing. So it was a
Wow.
benefit to the company too,
Yeah, because they're
you
like,
know.
they're grabbing people. It's like they're doing the training, they're putting in the work, and then right afterwards, they have these students ready to work. Like, I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, like you're pretty much like, what more?
right.
I mean,
So
instead
we
of
have
looking
those.
into the world, or like, I mean, I guess like regular jobs, right? You're looking for
Yes,
people to hire, but then here it's like you're pretty much molding them, right, for
yes,
this position. So it's
yes.
like, what more do you want as like a
I
business?
know.
Like,
And you
you're
don't
like,
have to pay them now. You can train them before you pay
yeah,
them.
you're literally training them. And then when it's
Yes,
time, you're like, oh, I've already molded them. They know how my company works. They know
yes,
exactly who and what and everything. And it's like, what more do you want? Where like when
right.
you're searching for that position, like people to hire, you don't even know what you're gonna get. And then you're wasting
Yes,
time because they're like a
yes.
liability. They don't know what they're doing. So I mean, like as
And
a
you know it. You get it. You get
yeah.
it.
I'm like now it's like by the
Yes.
end of the interview, I'm like, now I'm seeing like wow, like
Great.
I
And if
see
you
it, but
look up the statistics on how much if somebody gets fired or let go or leaves a company, the money it takes them to rehire and retrain somebody is like very high.
yeah, I'm
You
sure
can get
it's a
somebody in
lot.
there at the beginning that like is already ready to go and wants to be there for like isn't gonna leave. Like
Yeah.
I
So it's
think
like
that's
you have
huge.
somebody that's already passionate about it, not just like looking for a job. So I think it's like a win. Yeah, obviously it's a win-win when it works that way. And then like when the partnership or organization is actually involved,
Yes.
like it's a win. Like you're not like, yeah, you're putting time, you're putting money and time into this, but what's your long-term outcome? You're hiring people that you already molded into this position. So I mean like
Right.
yeah, that's
And
that's
the
awesome.
we have some other shared spaces. I mentioned that APS Palo Verde,
Yeah.
like they donated a lot to those labs that were there, but like those labs are used all flipping day, like 12 hours a
Oh
day.
wow.
APS comes in there to do trainings. Australia Mountain Community College will come in, then we have our classes. So it's a really good partnership
That's
because
pretty cool with the labs. Yeah,
yeah,
that's that you guys
they're
just
used
like
all day,
use
so they're
them.
not like empty like ever. And then one of our auto programs and surprise. It is Fiat Chrysler has classrooms upstairs and they do training for their staff.
Oh wow.
But then they like do some stuff with the students too. And
That's so incredible. Yeah, to
yeah,
have that space and just yeah, that's wow. That's
and it helps with rent. Like I
yeah,
think
like I'm like
it
also
pays them.
renting the space. Yeah, that's amazing when you have these partnerships because it's like, yeah, you have a space now. So I'm sure that's a big deal too. It's like how do you where do you go with this? Like, but it's like when you have these classrooms or spaces at other places that are willing to like be like, yeah, you can use this. That's awesome. Like I didn't realize like how in depth this is. Like
Oh yeah,
I was like, wow,
it's
like this
crazy, huh?
it's pretty awesome. Let's see. I think we're wrapping it up. I know you talked a lot about, I guess the last couple questions is like, what happens when a partnership does end, or yeah, like how do you ensure impacts? And I guess so what happens when the partnership ends, and like what lessons from, I mean, you've been working here for a while, since like it started really like from like the ground. Now you guys are evolving, but like what lessons from the past partnerships have influenced your approach
Oh
for future ones? Like I'm sure we thought that kind of goes in with
gosh.
challenges, and I'm sure you saw like you're like, oh, I'll never go to them again or something, what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Like, but
Yeah.
you're obviously learning because now you've got it down. So it's like, what are, yeah, what are the lessons you're learning from working with these partnerships and organizations?
Yeah.
And if they end, like, how does, like, what's the process like? And like, yeah,
Yeah, there's definitely some businesses I talk to that I can kind of see right through them, and it's just not going to be good. Like you,
yeah,
for whatever reason. I would say when a partnership ends, it's not necessarily like bad, good. It's just as they end. Maybe the
yeah.
business is closing, maybe they don't want to work with us anymore. But just because the way we're set up and we're so big, like vet, for example, if a vet clinic doesn't want to work with us anymore, we'll go find another one. Like,
Yeah, okay. So it's like, yeah, you're like, okay, so it doesn't have to be like, oh, it doesn't really necessarily have to be negative. It's just like you said, like businesses change, they might close, whatever. There might be a million reasons, but if somebody ends something or
yeah,
the contract ends, you're just like, okay, now,
okay. Like
okay,
I hope you had a good time, and for whatever reason you can't have externs anymore or whatever, but thank you for the partnership.
and then you just kind of
I
like move on and just try to find
yeah.
another partnership.
I think
I
I told you
mean, that's the
before, like
best part. Like you have so many people, like there's so many
yeah, there's a lot.
businesses.
When I was a internship coordinator at the high school, like I had seniors in internship, I felt like at that time, and that was like, gosh, what, 10 years ago, 12 years ago, I felt like I was convincing businesses. I had to go out and convince them
Oh, okay.
to take extras. Like, I don't know if it's age or where I work or with the change of the world and what's going on right now, but I don't really need to convince businesses anymore. And if I do get to that point where I feel like it's going that way, I'll just stop. Like,
Yeah, you're like, this is
and
not where, yeah.
yeah, because it's not a good foundation to set that I have to sit here and be like, but this, but this, but this, but that. Like, I want it to truly be like
A natural
it's
connection. Yeah.
that country song, like, let's meet in the middle, like, meet at the fence. Like, it is a partnership. I'm not gonna jump over the fence and do 75% of this. Like you are benefiting from this. We are mutually benefiting from each other with this
Yeah,
partnership.
no,
And
I love that you said that, which is like exactly right. It's like meeting in the middle with a partnership. And I think you're spot on because it's like some people just think like, oh, sure, I'll do this, but you can do all
yeah,
the work. And yeah, and it shouldn't feel like, I guess I don't know if this is the right word, but it shouldn't feel like you're begging them, right? Like this is, like
right.
you said, it's a mutual like beneficial thing. Like we're working with you, you're working with us, but we're both getting, we're helping each other. So I think, yeah, like I feel like if you are talking to somebody, you kind of have that bad feeling where like you're like, I feel like it's going nowhere, or you're
Yeah.
really putting effort in. I'm sure you're probably like, yeah, no.
And then there's sometimes, every once in a while we have interns go out and they like come back to their teacher and they're like, oh my, I'm not doing anything, or they're just having me sweep floors the whole time, or my men
Oh,
are
yeah.
mean, and we'll be like, okay, then we're done.
Yeah.
You don't need to go there anymore. That's not a good fit. Like it's you two. I think I mean, historically, maybe me and it's my personality, but in education in general, we're just so good at trying to convince everybody and beg people for donations and money and
Yeah.
partnerships when I wish it was more, at least we have at CTE, we have a product to sell, which is like workforce development. I think in elementary and high school, it's more like, hey, do you want your community to like be
Yeah.
successful? Do you want to be a partner? There's not such a like hard like benefit for them to see. So I like the fact that I can have more to kind of negotiate, I guess. Or
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I love that.
yeah.
Um,
But yeah, I just lessons from past partnerships. I'm just not in it for partners that want to just hire anymore. Like you need to be engaged with our classroom, and whether that looks like you're guest speaking, you're donating your time, you're donating money or old equipment you don't want anymore, whatever it is,
right.
we're looking for that type of participation with our programs, not showing up at the end saying, hey, I want to hire your kids.
Yeah, pretty much like, all right, like I just
Like,
need a bunch of workers now. So
yeah,
so you're like,
yeah,
no, you're actually looking for partnerships that are involved and actually want to be involved. And that's, I guess, what would make it successful, right? Like you're having, and I think that all around is success, it would be successful just because, like you said, you're helping the students find this position. They're helping, like they're literally molding people to like molding these students to work for them, which is amazing. And then on top of it, the students are benefited obviously because then they're getting positions right when they're done, which is awesome. So I feel like, and then also it's just like reputation and like with the
Yeah.
businesses, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's all about reputation too. So I
Mhm.
feel like it's definitely a win-win situation with partnerships if they're involved. I feel like
If
someone
they're
like
involved,
said,
yeah.
if they're not involved, yeah, like obviously you're just like, okay, well, this is not going to work at all. And then let me just pretty much, I mean, you've covered everything, so I really do
A
appreciate it.
lot.
And I just
I'm
want to just say, yeah, like thank you so much for sharing like your insights, your experience with me today, your perspective on the partnerships and educational and initiatives. Like it's incredibly valuable, honestly. So I just like wow, it was like I was like, wow, like you were because when you emailed me, you were like, hey, by the way, like my actual job, and I was like, oh, because I like honestly like when I was with, I mean, I did the whole internship process and all these classes with you, and you were like my main point of contact.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like the only person I could really think of as my site. Like I had the director at the internship of the school, and then I was like, oh, Suzanne, because like you were my main contact all the time, and like
yeah.
it was like, oh, she would be a great fit because we needed two, and I was like, I don't know anybody else. But then when you messaged me about what you really do, I was like, oh my gosh, like that's exciting. So no, like this is literally the whole partnerships course. And then like you're like, this is exactly what I do.
Yeah.
I
You
literally
sent me
work.
the questions too, and I was like, oh yeah, like I could
Yeah, you're
probably put that into my like work chat GPT and it could answer everything for you.
yeah,
But
you
you have
were
like
like,
a million
I literally do this every single day. This is what I do. I work with partnerships and organizations. Um,
Yeah.
I know, I just want to say, like, is there, I know you covered a lot, but of course, I just want to say, like, is there anything else you would like to add? Or if you have any, like, final thoughts, I'd love to hear them. If not, that's okay too. I know you've been talking and we've been like talking about everything, which is great, but I do want to give you the opportunity. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
I think just I mean, my job's focused on business and industry, but again, like I told you, my coworker does post-secondary. We have a student services department that does a lot with parents and students in the community and other schools.
Okay.
So I know your classes partnerships. This interview's definitely heavy on business and industry, but we partner with a lot of different entities. Um, I sent you the YouTube link. I'm sending you the grant.
Yes,
I'm
please.
sending you
Yeah.
one other thing too, which is like CTE impact for the state of Arizona.
Okay.
So the number one thing I wanted to point out on there is if a student, I think the high school graduation rate in overall in Arizona is, I want to say it's 75 or 76%. But if a student does two CTE classes or more, so does a CTE sequence, it jumps to 96%.
Oh wow,
So
that's incredible. Yeah, that's like
yeah,
a huge like that's great statistically. Like
yeah.
that's huge. And that's
So
like
we want kids to do like classes where they feel value. And it's
yeah.
not to say that English and math and science aren't, we're educators, we know they are.
Right, of
But
course.
sometimes
But
students have that problem making the connection, like, why do I have to do it? Like I don't get it. But
yeah.
they take culinary arts or they take woodworking or auto, they get to like apply their English and math and science
Right.
and
Okay.
they see why it's valuable. So
That's
it's
important, yeah, to
yeah.
let them see that part too. Because yeah, a lot of students, especially in high school, are like, "Oh, but why do I need this? I'm never gonna use this in real life." But then it's like you will actually, like,
Yeah. So I'm
oh,
sending you
that's
all that stuff.
yeah,
The
please. I
thing.
would love to
Yeah.
have that because I know today's Friday, right? Yeah, so I'm like losing. So yeah, I'll probably after work today, like start editing and like well I don't have to edit, I have to just cut the segments of the video and like put it into my project and stuff. But I'm just like so happy that you did this and thank you so much, like honestly, like
You're
I
so cute. You're awesome. When are you graduating?
this May, so
Ooh,
yeah,
woo!
it's coming really quickly and then I'm